Sir, do you mind if?
Yes, I do mind. I came here this evening to ask questions.
I'm sure the other gentleman did as well. And,
I know they did. If he got up
and
sooner,
I-
he'd be here instead of me.
As
So
I
I
am
would
the
like to ask my
excuse me,
question.
sir. As I am the moderator, I would please ask you if I could just have one of the.
Well, I would like to ask my question. That's why I
If you
came here
just,
this evening.
that's fine. You've had two questions already.
You didn't say this was not in the ground rules, and my question isn't out of order, and I haven't even asked my question. You know, that's one of the
Could you just
problems
go
here.
to the
Is
end
the
of
League
the
of
line?
Women Voters taking a political view here?
No.
You know, some
Sir,
people see the League of
if you
Women
would like
Voters
to-
as a biased
we're just-
organization.
no, we're just
Are you
trying-
saying I can't ask my question?
Sir, I'm merely trying to be fair, but if you would,
Well, your
if
ground
you
rules didn't establish
if you
this.
insist on asking a question, please do.
And what do you mean insist? I'm entitled to. I got up to ask one. Yes.
To clarify for everybody, there are rules that are established to try to get everybody the opportunity to speak. We're on a very limited time frame, which was why the first debate, because we only have a 2-hour tape. We have the privilege of taping this so the community at large can hear these questions and see the candidates, something that cannot happen in the normal course of things.
The show's going to be over, man.
If you didn't insist that
Me?
you had...
I got up and I abided by the rules, but if the League of Women Voters
Thank you,
doesn't
sir.
like the fact that
Just
I'm asking
please
questions...
proceed.
Yes, my question... Well, thank you very much. I'm sorry. Who said that?
Please proceed, sir.
I'll talk to you later. The simple question is this. Many people like myself who've lived in town for many years see the rapid growth of city government. You can't get a parking spot in City Hall anymore. They're all reserved for the employees, except for a few parking meters. We've all talked about revenue, increasing revenue, and I support that. I would like to hear some new ideas about cost cutting, perhaps unifying the Board of Ed under city control, perhaps shrinking the size of government, bringing library back under the control of the city, where it used to be and was taken away for some ungodly reason. Can you please propose to me some suggestions you would have, failing getting revenue, cost-cutting measures that you can institute in the city to save me some tax dollars? That question didn't hurt, did it?
Thank you. Mr. Stowe.
Well, that's a pretty long question. I certainly would not recommend the reduction in any staff at this point, because the city is, as you know, growing. And in that light, we need as many essential service workers as we possibly can get. As a matter of fact, I would say you don't cost cut, you raise revenue. And we can raise revenue through our retail efforts, which are consistently going on. We do have, people won't talk about it, but we do have some retail on Palmer Avenue that wasn't there, and that does, in fact, generate revenue. There is 140,000 square feet sitting right down there on Huguenot that will be developed. Believe me, the developer is not going to leave 140,000 square feet empty. So we will be generating revenue as opposed to cost cutting.
So there's no cost-cutting measures that you can see?
Thank you. There is no
I'm sorry.
give and take. Mr.
Ferrara?
Ferrara.
Thank you. If I sat here in council, probably what I would do is think about priorities. One, I probably wouldn't have voted for the pay raise, which is in excess of $100,000. Two, I probably wouldn't have voted for the bike paths that approached $50,000. I think that's $150,000. The traffic calming devices is a good idea, but if we're looking to crunch and save the dollar, now that's about $100,000, so up to $250,000. There's probably a lot of that we could find in the budget that, yes, it's nice to have, but we have to look at things in a sense of priority. And it just seems to me that the tax cap has been released, and we're becoming a little drunk with ourselves and the money. We worked very well at the time with the tax cap in place, and now that the cap is off, as Mike Brown stated from a report, we're starting to run into the red with the spending. So there are a lot of issues here that we probably could look very finite and find where the waste is.
Thank you for that answer.
Thank you.
Frankie Boyle, 126 Van Gilder Avenue. I'd just like to correct Mr. Stowe. Joe Evans is an African American, and he was elected to city council several times during the late 60s and into the early 70s. So there is precedent even before yourself that African Americans participated and were part of the city government. My question is, again, what a majority of the current city council members, including yourself, Mr. Stowe, voted themselves a 63% raise of $14,400, which totaled with the mayor's pay is $115,000 in pay raises for part-time positions. If you were elected or re-elected, will you propose and vote to repeal these outrageous pay raises? Again, I ask a yes or no answer, and then you can expound on your answer. Thank you.
Mr. Ferrara.
Was that directed to Mr. Stowe or to me?
To both.
Okay. Most definitely, I would vote to rescind the pay raise. I am a proponent of trying to do something with our youth in New Rochelle, as the only thing we really have for them on a grand scale is to send them to the New Rock game room. I don't think that's the greatest place to send people. I would have maybe a thought with the pay raise money. We could come up with an idea of what we all remember, opening up the gymnasiums on the nights and weekends for our kids. Possibly hire a police officer, put a youth bureau worker in, as well as work studies from the College of New Rochelle and Iona College, and start giving the children, the kids, someplace to go. I don't know if that's the answer, but I don't think it's ever been tried. What has been tried here is to continually go to New Rock, and we get ourselves in an uproar that he's thinking of closing that place, where we continually talk about our youth, but we're not doing anything in the future for our youth. There are little programs out there, but we need to sit and seriously look at the problem of the youth and the inability of these kids to find some place to go out in a healthy atmosphere and recreate and get involved with programs, possibly in the schools with the work studies. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Stowe.
First of all, it's a mischaracterization that you vote yourself a raise, you vote the position a raise. And to be very specifically, no, I would not, I would accept the raise, or I wouldn't have voted on it, so that's sort of a silly question. Anyway, in reference to our youth, I have done things for this youth that amount to $100,000 worth of workforce money, putting young people to work. You don't need young people necessarily bouncing the ball. The rubric cube has changed. What was good for youth 30 years ago no longer may apply. So if the boys' clubs were really where some of these youth really wanted to be, they would be overflowing. So we really need to develop a rapport with the youth to determine what exactly is it that they see. Now, in addition to not only bringing jobs, summer youth jobs that were professional, we didn't have young kids in the park watching smaller kids. We had young kids working in professional capacities, getting exposure to professions that they otherwise may very well not have gotten. In addition to that, we did develop a development program, pre-apprenticeship construction program, and we have 25 or so young men who are now making life, career sustaining wages, and they are not on welfare. Thank you.
Thank you.